Hank, guess what? It is your birthday. I normally celebrate for a week and maybe even a month. But guess what? We are going to create, it's your birthday. It is all about you. We're going to have fun and create something very special. So the one that has the soldier like this, we are going to learn about doing silhouettes. So it's going to be light behind him with a sky that looks like the American flag. And then we are going to have some land that is black. And he's going to be all black too, with maybe just a little white around his face to show some highlights. So it's your birthday. We should create, we should party, we should celebrate. So let's do that, okay? Let me show you what we have here that came in your bag of goodies, okay? So let me turn this around. Maybe. So, you see here, we have the sky, right? And what I want you to do at home, I want you to marker over that. So I got a black marker right here, and we are going to just go over that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I have my marker and I just want to go over all of my pencil. Okay. Mine's a little bit more sketchy, but that's all right. I love yours. I hope you enjoy it. And your other painting too, you want to go over that in marker that you have in your goodie bag. You want to go over that in marker. And then you are going to do something really colorful background. And then your gun and your boots and your name tag or dog tag and the eagle, all of that stuff, you want to do that in all of black, right? And do a really awesome sunset behind there. So we're learning about silhouettes, light behind it, dark in front. And so then you see right here that you have your stencil, right? So what I'm going to do, I want to go ahead and do just a really light, nothing crazy, light little drawing around it. And then we got 13 stripes, right? And it doesn't have to be really crazy. It doesn't have to be, you can do straight, okay? But I'm just gonna do a few, okay? So we got 1, 2, 3. And we're just gonna kind of, we're not gonna put everything in here. I'm just putting a few faint lines, okay? So the first thing that we're gonna do here is we're gonna do these lines, red, white, right? So let's do our red first. I'm gonna take my medium brush and dip it in a little bit of my water. And then we have a palette of paint. You wanna always keep your paints around your plate. I'm gonna go ahead and dip a little bit in my red. I'm gonna hold here at the back a little bit, hold it like a pencil. And I'm gonna start with my first red. And so I'm just going to kind of gently put some strokes on there. Right. Kind of looks like we want it to look a little bit more like a sky too, you know. So this is kind of in the background of him. It doesn't matter if we go through the top of his hat or his head. Why? Because we're going to paint over him anyway. So every other one, right? So red, 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 red. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our reds. Work on that red all the way down, back and forth. All right. So now we're going to rinse our brush by swirling it on the bottom of our water bucket. And I'm going to go into blue. Okay, so we did our red stripes. Now I want to fill this whole thing in blue. So we're going to outline it. We're going to outline it. And then we're gonna fill it in with some swirls. Now, if I want that to be a darker blue, I just add a pinch of my black, just a pinch. And see how that looks a little bit more like navy blue. But the biggest thing over here is, watch what I do. I'm gonna take my blue and I'm just gonna pull it over. I'm just gonna pull a few of those little pieces of blue over. Isn't that cool? Now you don't have to do this, but it kind of gives that illusion like it's still flowing. The blue is flowing through the red a little bit, okay? All right, here we have it. So let's go ahead and I want you to fill in this rectangular area that we traced around our stencil. I want you to go ahead and fill that all in blue. So I'm washing my brush again. Now you can also do strokes back and forth with that blue and that little bit of that black. But see how I just kind of bring it right through, real dry. I just go, you'll hear that sound, right? You just hear that sound. You just go all the way through. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So here we are. I don't even need to rinse my brush. I can just take black, right? And now I am going to fill in all of this ground, all the ground, okay? So let's go ahead and do that, right? We're going to fill in the ground, outline it, and then let's go ahead and fill it in, batting back and forth strokes. And I want you to fill in all of this land, even going over the red. And then we will also do the same for this guy here in just a little bit. He'll be the last thing. We're gonna kind of flick some stars in here. We're gonna put those on and everything like that. But I want you to go ahead and do your land. Right. Now we're back to the painting. So we filled in our land, right? We filled in our land. First thing we did was our red stripes across. Not doing our white yet, because if we would have done that, it would make pink. So we did our red stripes. We've done our blue up here for the rectangle, kind of going across, kind of letting that go into the white. Did the black for the land. And now we want to wash our brush by swirling it on the bottom of our water bucket, drying it off really good by not pulling on your bristles, but just gently going across like that. Okay. And now we're going to take some really clean white. That's when you go in here and you add some of these really cool white strokes, right? Just a little, just kind of cleaning it up. We want it to look a little abstract, and you can even pull it through here. Right? We want it to look kind of abstract. Go right through our drawing, that's okay. If you get any on your brush, just make sure you swirl at the bottom. But we can just add some going through here. Go through our blue, right? I could maybe even add some going through here. Okay, so start adding in your white a little bit, touching it up, making it look a little bit more texturized. You can use your fingers too. We're just having fun. You know, it's the American flag. It's just kind of distressed in the back. Right? Loving it. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to work on that with white strokes now going through it. Do that. And then after, we are going to take a little bit of water on our brush, just a tad bit, It's kind of dripping. We make a little puddle off to the side of our white, and then we're just going to watch. We're just going to flick all over. We're just going to flick by holding it back here and just tapping, right? Gives a little texture, not so perfect. Looks like some stars, maybe a 4th of July going off here. You could use all kinds of different colors on that too. Okay. So let's work on a little bit of those dots, making a little puddle next to your white. It's kind of a more loose paint, right? Working on some of those red or those white strokes going through your red. Doesn't need to be perfect, right? We want this to flow and look like the wind is blowing through it. Okay, let's do that. Nice job. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna paint in our soldier. Okay, so you have two brushes. You got a medium one and a little tiny detail one. We wanna hold a little up closer when we're doing detail work. So I'm just gonna put a little paint on the tip of my brush, get really up close and personal, like you're writing a paper. And I want you to trace around him with the very tip. And then I want you to fill him in. So take your time with this. He's super important, right? Really important. So let's go ahead. Let's outline around him. You can add a little water to your paint and it'll go on a smoother, right? So I could just take a little drop of water on my paintbrush and add it to my black paint and it goes on smoother, right? Goes on smoother. This side of his shirt is up higher because he's got his arm lifted, right? So let's trace around him and then we're gonna fill him in all black, okay? All right, soldier. So, red stripes, right? Red stripes. We did those. We've got a lot going on. We added some white through there. We did some blue, we did some specks, we did the land, we did it all. We're doing really good and you can always come back and add. But so we're doing the soldier here, but how do I accent him a little bit more? I take my small tiny brush, wash it good by swirling it on the bottom of your water bucket, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of white. And watch what I do here. I just can add a little bit. Let's do the left side. Right? Little highlights here. See how much that makes a difference? And so it's always a little highlights, always on the things that are sticking out, right? We're just saying the light's coming from this space, but definitely on his shoes because, right, we want him to stand out. So let's put a little bit here and then let's put a little bit more on the shoe area. Right. Nice. Maybe even right over here to separate the arm a little bit more. Great. So the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our stencil that came with this, okay? And we're gonna lay it gently within that rectangle that we painted. Then we're gonna take one of our little cotton swabs here and we're gonna dab it in this white paint. That could be a lot. So what you want to do is then dab on your towel to get all the extra off. And you're going to want to hold this down, hold it down with one finger, and then just dot gently. Just dot gently. And we don't want these stars to be too perfect, so they're going to look really kind of faded, like they're in the sky. You see that? I don't want to swipe. I want to go up and down like a woodpecker, up and down. And you're going to hear that sound, kind of like a drum. You might want to hold on to this stencil with your other hand, just so it doesn't move. I'm going to do a little bit more here. I need some more white. Some will maybe be thicker than the others. That's okay. So that's what I want you to do. Take a little bit of white. Not too much, just dab it off. But these are not supposed to look perfect. They're supposed to look faded in the sky. Okay, faded in the sky. What if you want to put a little yellow in your sky? A little sunset down at the bottom where his feet are. You could do that. But I want you up and down, up and down. So let's give that a try. All right, soldier. So we got everything going on here really good. I love it. You could even add more specks. You know what? You could also take your small little brush and and maybe even do this. What about some pieces of grass? Some silhouette pieces of grass down here. What about coming around his feet a little bit? Right? What about more white specks? What about a sunset down in here? You can do anything. But let's see what this looks like, okay? These stars are supposed to be faded. I'm just gonna gently lift that up and over. Holy wow, right? Holy wow, they're supposed to be kind of faded. Maybe even in here, I just go back and I'm like, okay, what else do I need now? Maybe I just add a little bit more white. Maybe add a little bit more white in here. Maybe I want it to be a little bit more dark. I add a little dark underneath that or underneath the blue, right? Maybe I need more. I need some more of these little pieces of grass by holding onto the back of my brush. You know, really anything's possible. Right now, I could put a yellow sun right there. But look at this. You can do this. I know you can. So I want you to paint this however you want to. You are so creative. I know you got it. Miss Danielle teaches you so well. I hope you are having the best time today celebrating your birthday. So do this. Take your time. Take a picture with you in it and send it over to me. Happiest birthday to you, buddy.